Imagine a small island in Southeast Asia. In the 1960s, overcrowded slums, muddy streets, frequent power cuts, almost no natural resources, no oil, little land for farming. In 1965, even its larger neighbor Malaysia decided that keeping Singapore in the Federation was too difficult. Singapore was expelled and suddenly on its own. At that time, Singapore was a poor, divided city-state with high unemployment and deep ethnic tensions. Today, it is richer per person than the UK, on many measures, a major global financial hub, and often ranked among the cleanest and safest places on Earth. How did this transformation happen in just a few decades? August 1965. Malaysia has just told Singapore that it must leave the Federation. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew understands the reality. Independence is not a celebration, it is a survival test. The new government faced several urgent problems: no natural resources, high unemployment, overcrowded slums and poor sanitation, limited defense capabilities, ethnic tensions between Chinese, Malays, and Indians. Many outside observers expected Singapore to fail. Instead, the country treated state building like a long-term design project. Study what works elsewhere, then adapt it carefully. Lee Kuan Yew and his team traveled widely and borrowed specific ideas from the UK. Strong rule of law and independent courts. From Japan, discipline, efficiency, and continuous improvement. From the United States, openness to foreign capital and talent. From Switzerland, stability, neutrality, and financial reliability. From Germany, skilled vocational training and advanced industry. From Israel, the importance of intelligence, strategy, and compulsory national service for a small state. These were not copied blindly. Each idea was adjusted to Singapore's size, location, and population. Core Pillar 1. Clean and effective government. Singapore concluded that corruption would destroy any chance of success. They created a powerful anti-corruption agency with authority to investigate senior officials. They enforced strict penalties for bribery. They paid civil servants and ministers relatively high salaries to reduce the incentive to steal. The goal was simple. Citizens and investors had to believe that laws, not personal connections, decided outcomes. Core Pillar 2. Meritocracy. Singapore tried to allocate talent based on ability, not family background or political loyalty. Standardized exams and a competitive school system. Scholarships for high-performing students, often tied to public service. Promotions in the civil service, linked to performance and results. The idea was to put the most capable people in key positions: flying planes, managing ports, running ministries, and teaching in classrooms. Core Pillar 3. People as the main resource. With no oil or minerals, the resource strategy was education. English was promoted as a working language, connecting Singapore to global trade and finance. A bilingual policy kept mother tongues like Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, while ensuring global competitiveness. Technical and vocational institutes trained workers for industry, electronics, and later, high-tech sectors. Lifelong learning and retraining programs helped workers move as the economy upgraded, from low-cost manufacturing to advanced services and technology. The population itself became the engine of growth. Core Pillar 4. making Singapore attractive to business. The question was, why would a company choose Singapore? The government responded by building one of the world's most efficient ports and later, a major international airport. Reliable electricity, water, and telecommunications. Industrial estates and free trade zones for manufacturing. Simple, predictable regulations with fast approvals. Strong contract enforcement through trusted courts. Foreign companies, especially in electronics and petrochemicals, began using Singapore as a regional base. Over time, this expanded into finance, logistics, biotech, and technology. Core Pillar 5. Continuous improvement. Singapore rarely relied on dramatic one-time reforms. Instead, it applied Kaizen at a national level, constantly reviewing laws to cut red tape, updating school curricula to match economic needs, improving public housing design and transport networks, tracking performance indicators and adjusting policies. Over decades, these 1% improvements accumulated into a major transformation. From 1965 to today, if you viewed this as a time lapse, the slums are replaced by public housing, built by the Housing and Development Board. The small port expands into one of the busiest container ports in the world. The low-skill economy transitions to higher-value manufacturing, then to finance, trade, and technology. Roughly, first 10 years, survival and basic stability. Around 20 to 25 years, rapid growth and rising living standards. Around 40 to 50 years, consolidation as a high-income, global city-state. The land is the same. The key difference is long-term strategy and consistent execution. Applying the Singapore model to personal life. You may feel like Singapore in 1965. Limited resources, limited support, low expectations from others. The lesson of the Singapore model is not that conditions must be perfect. It is that you need clear priorities. You must invest in your own capabilities. You must be willing to improve steadily over time. Practically, remove your corruption, habits that waste your time and attention. Run your own meritocracy. Reward yourself for real effort and real results, not excuses. Invest in skills as if you have no other resource, like languages, technical abilities, communication. Build trust. Be consistent. Meet deadlines. Keep promises. Aim for daily 1% improvements, rather than instant breakthroughs. That is how a small, vulnerable island became a high-income nation, and how an ordinary person can steadily become extraordinary. If this story helped you see history in a new way, subscribe to Info Chaser for more true stories, where global events become practical lessons for your own life. In the comments, share this. What is your own Singapore moment? And what small, specific step will you start with today?